Okay, here's some example problems to go with sections 18.5 and 18.6. Calculate the resistance of a 40-watt automobile headlight designed for 12 volts. Okay, so let's look at our givens. Let's write those down. I know my power is 40 watts, and I know my voltage is 12 volts. Okay, now let's see, what do I want? I want resistance, and that's measured in ohms. Okay, so what am I going to use? Well, I have a new equation, which is power equals IV, which is current times voltage. Then I have an older equation, which is voltage equals current times resistance, which is Ohm's law, right? Okay, now let's see. I can rewrite this power equation, which is I equals P over V, and I could find I, my current, by doing 40 watts over 12 volts. Okay, now watts is joules per second, and volts is joules per coulomb. And so my joules cancel out, and I get 40 over 12 coulombs per second, or 40 over 12 amps. Okay, now that's an intermediate answer, and I could have reduced that fraction, but I'll just save it for later. So now I want to find resistance, right? So I'm going to go R equals V over I. So it means R is 12 volts divided by 40 over 12 amps. And remember, an ohm is a volt per amp, right? So I have 144 over 40 ohms, which is about 3.6 ohms. Actually, it's exactly 3.6 ohms. Okay, moving on to number 2. An electric heater draws a steady 15 amps on a 120 volt line. Okay, so that looks my givens, right? So my current is 15 amps, and my voltage is 120 volts. Let's see, what else? How much power does it require? So that's what I want, is power. And that'll be measured in watts. If it operates 3 hours per day, and you do it for a month, okay, so my time is going to be 3 hours per day for a month, which is 30 days. Days cancel, so 90 hours. And the cost is 9.2 cents, so $0.092 per kilowatt hour. Okay, so I guess I also want the cost, and that'll be in dollars. Okay, so what am I going to use? Okay, so first I'm going to use my new equation, power equals IV. So that's going to be 15 amps times 120 volts. And 15 amps, an amp is a coulomb per second. And a volt is a joule per coulomb. So my coulombs cancel. So I get 1800 joules per second. And a joule per second is a watt, so 1800 watts, or 1.8 kilowatts. Okay, and that was an intermediate step. That was the power, so I know that now. I want to know the cost. So so the cost would be 1.8 kilowatt times 90 hours. So that'll be kilowatt hours, and then the cost is 9.2 cents. Or is it $0.092 per kilowatt hour? So kilowatts and hours cancel. That'll be C for cost. So C equals $14.90. And once you start paying electric bills, you'll see those kind of things talked about. Okay, last example. Okay,